Today we're going to make the Spiderbot. Let's get started. First, let's move this over out of our way. And the first thing we're going to do is take out a polygon. We are going to rotate this polygon 22.5 degrees. We are then going to make the sides 8 and the bevel 2.5. We're going to make the height 10, the width 60, and the depth 20. We're going to change this to a light gray color. Next, we're going to take out a cylinder. We're going to set the sides to 64 and the bevel to 2.5. We're going to change this color to dark gray. We're going to make the depth and the width both 16. And we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. We're going to also make sure we set this down to 0. We're going to change to the top or the flat view. We're going to pull the dark piece into the light piece. I'm going to use the align tool to make sure it's centered, and it just happens to be because it's not lit up. We're going to then duplicate this gray piece. We're going to make this 30 long. By 10 wide. And 12 high. We're going to change this color to red. We're going to look at it again from the top. And we're going to align it into all our other pieces. To make sure they're centered, I'm going to use my align tool. And it looks good. We're going to duplicate this piece again. And we're going to pull it out. We're going to make this 6 wide. But first we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. And then we're going to make this 6 wide. We're going to change the color to orange. We're going to pull it inside the light gray piece. Let's look at it from the top again. And let's try this again. This is supposed to be 6. 6. Okay, we're going to tap this down a little bit. And then we're going to duplicate because we need 3 of these. And you might need to fuss with it a minute. So then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this light gray piece here. And we're going to move it forward. We're going to make the other part of the leg. We're also going to duplicate the dark gray cylinder and move it up. The light gray piece is going to be 40 long now, or what? We're going to duplicate this gray piece one more time. And we're also going to duplicate one of these orange pieces. And we're just going to drag it out over here. We're going to look at it from the top again. Make sure we like it. So this gray piece right here, we've got to bring it up on end. So that means we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Sometimes it takes a minute to get a hold of the right handle. There we go. There we go. So this piece is going to be 20 by 20. By 16. We're going to flip to our top view. We're going to set this piece on top of here. Oh, we made a mistake with that. Let's see what's wrong. Maybe I said 160 or something like that, but it seems to be okay now. So let's set it right there. Let's make sure they're lined up. I might bring that forward just a little bit. And I also want to make sure that it is brought to 0. And it's a little bit below that. Just checking on our pieces. There we go. Okay. We're going to now bring this over here. We're going to change this width to 4. It's 6 now, but we want it to be 4. We're going to change the color to yellow. We are going to get it centered up and duplicate. And duplicate again. I'm going to use my line tool to make sure that everything is centered. Looks like we are okay. Okay. I think I want to bring this up a little bit. Until I'm happy with it. I think I want to bring this one up a little bit. All right, now what we're going to do is we are just going to group the cylinder that's laying down and the 3 stripes and the light gray piece. And then we're going to rotate this. We're going to rotate it let me see. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit multicolor so I get my colors back. Now this is grouped together. I'm going to move my work plate over by holding down my shift and then using my right click to move it over. All right, I'm going to rotate it 22.5. So it's tilted up. And I'm going to bring it up to 0. There it goes. I'm going to make sure that both pieces are centered on each other. And they were almost there, but not quite. So I'm going to have to go back over here to my first piece I made, and I'm going to make sure that it's grouped. I'm going to make it multicolor to get all my wonderful colors back. And I'm going to rotate this piece 45 degrees. Whoops. Let's try that again. So if you rotate it the wrong way like that, just put a negative and it will rotate the correct way. All right. You want to make sure that it is at negative 21. So that's correct. And we're going to bring it over to the other piece. So you can see our legs are starting to look correct. Okay, I think we're ready to group all the pieces. Only thing, this doesn't look correct. So I think this needs to be down at 0. So maybe it was. I am going to check this. That needs to be at 3. I'm going to check with my other spider to see if everything's looking correct. This just doesn't look right to me. It was not. So I do want that at 0. Okay. All right, now we're ready to group. All right, now that we have one leg made, let's move on. All right, we're going back and we're going to take out another polygon. We're going to make it size 8 and its bevel 2.5. We're going to rotate it 22.5. Not sure why that turned up, but we'll just put it out of the way. Did not want to do that. All right, we're going to make this 60 by 60 by 16 high. And we're going to make this our light gray color. So we're going to look at it from the top. We're going to pull it there, and I'm going to use my align tool to see if it's centered. And it looks like, miraculously, it is. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our leg, and we are going to rotate that leg 180 degrees. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to move my work plane. I'm going to type in 180 degrees, and then I'm going to use my arrow keys to move it directly across. I am going to select just these 2 legs and use my align key to make sure they're directly across. And they are, because these circles are not highlighted. So we know they're selected and they're directly across. Still not sure what that is about right there. Let's pull that over there. All right, we're getting there. Still looking at it from the top and the flat. You can zoom in a little bit. We're going to take out an orange cylinder. We're going to make these sides 64 and the bevel 2.5. We are going to turn this. Let me pull my work plane down again. We're going to turn this 90 degrees. We have not grouped that yet. We have not grouped it. What we're going to do before we do anything else with this little guy, we are going to select both our legs by using the control. We're going to group those. We're going to duplicate them. And we are going to turn this 90 degrees. There we are. Trying to find where I can type in. And that's 90 degrees. Let's look at it from the top. Scroll out. We've got our little robot, our other one over there. Now we're going to let's just get this out of the way a minute. We're going to group all of this. And then we are going to rotate this 45 degrees. So it kind of looks like an X now. So we took out our orange cylinder, we turned it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, get my orange cylinder back here. I turned it. Did I make it 16 high? No. So I'm going to make it 16 high. And then I'm going to take out this purple cone. And I'm going to change its radius. So the top radius will be 5. We might have to type that in there to get it perfectly perfect. The sides will be 8. If you can't use the slide, you might have to type it in. And these two will stay at 10 and 20. We're going to make this 40 wide. 40 deep. And 16 high. We're going to make this dark gray in color. We're going to now place this in the center. And I'm going to just select both of those and use my align tool. I'm going to bring this up. Now we can, we haven't grouped everything yet, but now we can start to see what we need to do. We are going to put these orange things that we've made in between where there are not anything. I'm going to select my orange piece and my spider. Then I'm going to use my align to make sure it's aligned. There we go. Then I'm going to copy that. Let me look underneath it, make sure that's at 0. Then I'm going to duplicate. Going to bring this one directly across. Try to line it up in the same way. And then using your Shift key, you're going to select both and group them. Then you're going to duplicate. And then you're going to turn it 90 degrees. Okay, and I think we're almost done. The only thing we need to do is, well, one of the only things we need to do, we're going to change the orange colors to bright blue. Let's see how we're doing. Looks like possibly I need to bring this piece up a little bit. Let's see where we're at. We're at 8. Let's just go for 5 and see how that is. Still looks a bit different, doesn't it? Let's check our height and our width. So it says 40 by 40 by 16. So we must be right. So the only thing left is to group our pieces. Oh, one more thing. We are going to change this whole piece after we group it to 180 by 180. And we are going to bring it up to 0. Not quite. Right there, 0. Might center it. Look at it from the top. And there you have it, a spider robot.